Hey welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. My name is Eileen. I am the owner of Veer Up, which is an HR career consulting firm. Today, we're going to talk about 11 things that you must do if you are laid off. But before we get started, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So like I said, there are 11 things that you must do if you get laid off in 2022. Everyone knows, what's going on in the news about Facebook, Twitter, and a host of other companies. And unfortunately, it is not going to stop there. It's going to continue probably up until mid 2023, something like that. So that's why I wanted to put this together, because there are 11 things that I feel like if you're laid off, you must do. And I know when you're in that situation, you're just not really thinking clearly. And believe me, I have been there before. So I know what it feels like to be laid off and then not having those questions. And I work in HR, so I couldn't even think about what I needed to do because it was such a shock when you're laid off. So let's look at the first one. The first one is, if you're laid off and they tell you verbally, like if you're on a Zoom call or something like that, and they don't give you a letter, ask for a letter. You want it to be in writing. And because that's something that you can use later on, but you definitely want to make sure that you have something for your records and ask them to be very specific. If you were laid off, then say that in your letter that you were laid off. And the second thing you want to do is you want to check all of your benefits. And I know that if you're not really thinking about that, but when you're laid off, you definitely want to ask about your health insurance. They will probably tell you they're going to mail you something, but you can also get it before then. You can say, I would like my information now. You can ask them about COBRA. How much does COBRA cost? What is the level of insurance? It should be the same. You also want to ask them about unemployment. Now, some companies will say that you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can apply for unemployment. That simply isn't true. If you're laid off, you should be able to apply immediately. I put a link in the description box because every state is different. So if you click on that link, the state that you live in, and it will tell you about unemployment benefits. Really, really important. The next thing you want to ask them, are you going to get a severance package? Really important. Some places you've been working there for a certain amount of time, you will get one. So ask about that, as well as your vacation benefits. Do you get paid out for that? So those are questions you definitely want to ask if you are being laid off. And also, this is a good time to ask your employer, will they be a reference for you? Because if you're laid off, that means it's not due to your work performance. So asking for a reference letter is not out of the question. And then also you want to ask them, what are they going to tell future employers if they call to do a reference check? Now, typically, most companies will say, we don't release anything except for your dates of employment and title. Now, if they're a company that releases more, you need to know what they're going to say about you. Number 3, you want to think about your next move. I know people will tell you, go ahead, fill out that resume application, get it updated, and start sending it and firing them out. I do not believe that. I believe this is the time that you must do an inventory of who you are and what it is that you want to do. Maybe you don't like working in accounting. Maybe you want to work in a different field. This is the time that you can really think about what it is that you're passionate about and what it is that you want to spend the next phase of your career doing. Maybe you can take some online classes. Maybe you can just figure out what it is that you want to do. This is important. Like for me, when I was laid off, I really had to figure out what it is that I really wanted to do? Did I want to go back to the hustle and bustle of a full-time job, or did I want to start my own company? This is the one time in your life that you will be able to typically reset your career. And this is really important that you do that for yourself. Number 4, you want to connect with your friends and your family. Now, you don't have to tell them all the details about the job or anything like that, but you do want to let them know, hey, I'm no longer at that company. So if you try to reach me or send me an email, something like that, I'm no longer there. And so number 5 is I create a vision board. When I was laid off, it helped me to put all of my ideas and my goals in one place. Something that you can look at every day to keep you grounded and to keep you pursuing your goals. So that's why it's really important that you do a vision board. And it's also a place where you can condense all of your ideas in on that vision board and to help you as you navigate looking for a job or something else, finding your passion. So once you've done all number 1 through 5, updating your resume is now the thing that you want to do. Now, don't just put all your jobs and all your skills that you did or whatever it is that you did at your last job on your resume. No, you want to think about accomplishments, things that you implemented, or even things that you can measure. So as you update your resume, those are things you definitely want to put on there. And then, look at it and take a step back and say, would I hire this person? And number 7, you want to review and update your budget, because this is the time where, money may not be coming in as like they normally do when you're working. So you want to review your budget, and any changes you make, you want to make sure that you're living, below your means. And this is the time that you want to cut out things that you don't really need. Like when I was laid off, we got rid of certain cable channels and everything like that, but we did keep the internet because I needed that in order to look for a job. So just kind of think about ways that you can cut corners and save some money. Number 8, you want to start your job search. And when you do your job search, you want to think about traditional job searches versus non-traditional. So traditional, we're talking about Indeed, Monster, anything that you typically would go on, to online and apply for a job. So the non-traditional way are things such as reconnect with your friend. Maybe they work at a place that you want to work. And so maybe they can give your resume to someone who may be hiring. And then also, you definitely want to make sure that your LinkedIn page is updated as well. Because what you want to do, reach out to people who work at a company that you want to work for. And you want to, create like a 2-liner. Just say, hey, I saw that your company, or, we are connected some type of way, or even have someone to introduce you to someone in order to network on LinkedIn. Non-traditional job search is what you want to do, because most people don't realize most jobs are not posted. They're just out on the company's website, and you may not even know them unless someone who works there tells you. So that is something you want to also keep in mind. Do non-traditional job searches, as well as joining organizations. Now, I know for a fact that certain professional organizations, if you are laid off, will allow you to attend a meeting without paying, and you can still network because they know that you're looking for a job. So don't be ashamed to tell them that you're unemployed. Number 9, you want to develop a schedule. And this is so important because if you don't, your day will go by without you doing anything that's related to finding your passion or looking for a job. So when you develop a schedule, make sure you put something in there about working out, something about, networking, 3 hours of actually surfing the net, looking for jobs, and spend time, going to networking events. So you want to make sure that you stick to a schedule when you're looking for a job, because I'm going to tell you, you're all gung-ho at first. You start doing it for 8 hours a day, and then you start slacking, then you do 4 hours a day, then you do 2, and then 6 months go by and you're not even looking anymore because you're not doing a schedule. So definitely do a schedule. And number 10, please be ready for rejection. I know that sounds so harsh, But I'm going to tell you, the marketplace has changed. If you're someone that has not interviewed in the last 5 or 6 years because you haven't had a need to, it has changed. I mean, I don't want to scare anyone, but just know that rejection is a part of looking for another job. And you are going to have recruiters who are so busy that they'll set up an appointment with you and not even show up because they forgot. Now, it's up to you if you want to still pursue that position, but that will happen. And you're also going to get ghosted. Like if you have an interview and you go through the whole entire process and you don't hear anything. They'll tell you, we'll make a decision by Friday, and Friday has rolled around, the next Friday has rolled around, and you have not heard anything. So it's okay to reach out and find out, what's going on. But typically, if you haven't heard anything, most likely they moved on. And please don't send a nasty email to say, I definitely don't want this job, or I don't want to work for a company. You just don't know who knows who. So just be gracious and just say that position was not for me, and do not take it personal. And number 11, so if you've done all of the advice or the things that I've told you to do, but you're still just not having any luck, now it's time to hire a career coach or a life coach to help you navigate what it is that you're getting wrong. Is it your resume, or is it your interviewing? Or maybe you don't even want a job. Maybe you want to do something else. Those are the 11 things that I feel like you must do if you're laid off in 2022. So if you have any questions, please email me. I would love to hear your comments. So please leave those. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye.